Well, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody for coming today and taking part in this charity game. And I want to thank Alabama, for coming up here and bringing their team and, providing our fans a great opportunity, plus see a great game, plus, raise money for, stroke awareness. Today, and I didn't know this till this morning, today is National or Worldwide Stroke Day. Did you guys know that? I didn't. I got a text message this morning from Dr. Brubaker, our FAR. He sent me an article, amazing article that's actually in Forbes magazine. And I'm going to give you just a couple things, and then we'll get to the game. But 33,425 people are going to have a stroke today, and only 1,000 people are going to get life-saving treatment. So what we did here today is something that's really, really important to help people that can't afford health care, can't afford getting the right treatment, don't live in the right place. If you witness somebody who has a stroke, you got to, what they say, be fast. Okay? You got to have, you check their balance, you check their eyes, which was one of the problems with my wife. Facial droop, which she didn't have till she got in the hospital. Arm or leg weakness, which she definitely had, and problems with speech. Okay, those are things, those are tall tale signs. And when you see those things, you got to act. You got to call 911 right away. I don't know if you guys, I didn't know, every minute a stroke goes untreated, you lose 2 million neurons in your brain are destroyed, okay? There's only 3% of the people in the world have access to life-saving treatment. And what that treatment is clot-busting medication, which my wife had, and clot extraction, which she didn't. Many low-income countries do not have specialists. Racial and ethnic minorities in the United States are a lot less to receive this type of treatment. The World Health Organization predicts that by 2030, strokes will become the leading cause of global disability. Okay? It can happen to anybody at any age, at any time. Like I told you, my wife, she had very low cholesterol, very low blood pressure, and she swims every day. But it happened. And there's an urgent need to reorganize, I think, healthcare systems, provide stroke treatment, and secure adequate funding, which we worked on today, and well-trained workforce to make treatment accessible. So these are things that are really important, not only to the world, but to me personally. And I appreciate everybody coming here today and taking part in it. Obviously, it was a game of tale of two halves. It wasn't real complicated. At halftime, it was real simple. Like, listen, we got to quit giving up offensive rebounds when they miss. And we got to quit turning it over, and we got to guard the ball a little bit better. It's not always hieroglyphics, when you come in there. And one of the things Mike Starkey said to us after the game, Mike is our strength coach. He goes in the locker room with the players. At halftime, we don't go in there till about 10 minutes on the clock. He said it was the most mature group of players we've ever had when it comes to talking through their issues and what they needed to fix before we even came in there. And so I think that's obviously a credit to them. We didn't have a lot of depth. They pressed us, tried to make it hard on us. And I thought our guards did a fabulous job of, taking care of the ball, getting us in the offense. Hunter Salas, Cam Hildreth. What a day they had. Parker had some big moments in the second half. Marcus Marion is going to be a really good player. And Andrew's just so steady, and Andrew and Matt, they did a much better job in the ball screen defense in the second half and the drop, forcing them to take tough twos, and we got the rebound. And so it's I was really pleased with the way we defended in the second half, and I thought it was important because it's away from the bench too, and that shows maturity. I don't have an amount, but I'm sure we will at some point. I don't know if words can describe it. You walk out there and you see everybody there. And I know everybody wants to come and watch a basketball game, but it's Sunday. It's 80 degrees out, right? And I do think a lot of people there, Alabama had some people here, with a good heart, So, yeah, my wife was here. She was up in the box, but she didn't come out in the crowd because, she lost the hearing in her right ear, and it's just hard for her right now to be in a big crowd. But she was here. She was wearing her T-shirt. She was excited. I'm sure she'll be a lot happier at home now that I come home with a win. But Yeah, it was very special, and and it meant a lot to me and my family. And my whole family was here. My son came back from Tennessee. My daughter came over from East Tennessee State, and so we'll go home now and have a little fun together before they head out.
In terms of the actual game, the second half performance, how do you kind of put that in perspective? Connor was asking the guys about this earlier. How do you put this into perspective when you consider you've got so many pieces and parts that may or hopefully will come back to you later on?
I mean, I think it's really encouraging. We talked about having depth, right? When this whole thing started, and we didn't have much depth today, but those guys all produced, and so it adds once those guys continue. Abramo's got a concussion, and he's had it now for 2 weeks. I can't predict that. Boopy sprained his ankle on Friday in practice. I mean, honest truth is, guys, yesterday Parker and Cam didn't practice either. Okay, so I was like, what in the world is going on? Obviously we knew Damari wasn't going to be ready. I didn't, going into this fall, I thought Jao would be a piece. The only two question marks going into this season to me were when was Damari going to be able to come back and what would happen with Efton. So I wasn't really counting on these other guys not being in there. But that's a credit to the players today who played, and hopefully we can continue to get some of these guys back and just add to our depth. They have really good camaraderie. They got good chemistry. They like each other. And so they'll continue to work hard. But, I hope I can get them back here.
Coach, you mentioned the transition of the team at halftime. What were the differences you saw between the 10-0 run for Alabama at the end of the first half and how you guys came out in the second?
Well, I just thought we kept the ball in front of us in the second half and made them shoot tougher shots. And when we got the ball, we rebounded it. We didn't give them those easy, putbacks. And listen, we've improved a lot in 2 weeks in defensive transition. Alabama's one of the best teams in the country in transition, make or miss. And we gave up less points in transition to them than we did at Georgetown. Now, some of that was on me schematically. I changed some things during the past 2 weeks to help our team, but they executed it. And so I think that had a lot to do with it. And I think we didn't turn it over. You can't turn the ball over. You can't give pick sixes or atomic bombs to these guys. And so I just think it was those things. It wasn't anything. We were still in drop coverage on the middle ball screens. We blitzed the sides and turned them over like 2 or 3 times on the blitz or trap, on the side ball screens. And we did a good job of getting the game plan into the game on that. And then guarding the ball. Make them shoot it over and go get it. Not hard.